Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, trend update, temple political support, Yehuda Glick in the Knesset, May 25, 2016. And effectively there is political support being added for the idea of rebuilding of the Jewish temple in the name of one Yehuda Glick. And so some people are probably wondering, well, who is this guy? Well, about a year and a half ago, he was a Temple Mount activist who was expected to die, and he was shot 3 or 4 times at point-blank range by an assassin, or an attempted assassin. And today, Mr. Glick has been sworn into the Knesset as the ruling Likud party's replacement legislator for outgoing Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon. Now, Mr. Glick is from the United States. He was born in the United States, and he went with his family when he was 9 to Israel. He's an outspoken demonstrator for the Temple Mount. Now he's in elected office. And, the thing is, too, is that Glick's arrival in the halls of the Knesset reflects the growing reception for the Jews' right to visit and worship on the Temple Mount. And over the last 5 to 7 years, Jewish visits to the site have nearly doubled. Now, Glick himself has been barred from the Mount and was even charged with assault there, even though charges were dropped. Now, he and his religious activists see the ascension to the Knesset as a victory for a just cause after his brush with death. Now, critics say the power he wields could make things worse. So needless to say, Mr. Glick is a very polarizing figure. I'm sure that I will be involved in the Temple Mount, just like I used the justice system in the courts. I think the political world has strong institutions to promote issues in a democratic society. And that is a quote from Yehuda Glick. Sounds familiar with the Apostle Paul, who had no problem using his citizenship rights and his legal rights as a citizen. Glick is 50. He is the director of Halabah. It's an organization that brings Jewish groups to visit the Temple Mount and fight for Jews' rights to pray there. Now, previously, he was the head of the Temple Institute, and I'm sure many of you folks are familiar with the Temple Institute, and this is a group that has built vessels for the animal sacrifice and commissions architectural plans for the future third temple on the Mount. So he used to head that organization up. Now it's headed up, I believe, by Chaim Reichman. And to give you a little history of the Temple Mount, it's under Israeli sovereignty, but under a deal following Israel's 1967 takeover of the site. It is now run by the Islamic Waqf, which is a Jordanian body. Muslims have full access to the site, an exclusive right to pray on the Mount. Jews can ascend the Mount only during limited visiting hours and are forbidden from doing anything there that resembles worship, such as kneeling. Cannot kneel, sing, dance, or wear specific clothes there that would indicate you are worshiping. Yehuda Glick was born in Brooklyn, New York. Again, moved at 9 with his family to Israel. He now lives in the West Bank settlement of Otniel, and he believes his American upbringing has brought a unique perspective of civil rights and equality to Israel. He became the symbol of Jewish Temple Mount movement when the assassination attempt was made in October of 2014. So he was in the hospital during October, got out in November, and a month later competed in primaries and won the 33rd spot on the slate, which is reserved for an Israeli settler. So here he is later in office, and here's another quote from him. He felt that in a democratic country we cannot allow a situation in which someone who is active democratically, someone who is active to promote a legitimate issue, is attacked physically because of the fact he tried to work legally. So he's all about using the process to influence his beliefs and causes. Now, last week Glick was critical of Prime Minister Netanyahu's decision to oust Ya'alon, and that's the decision that effectively gave him his Knesset seat. And he's already been scolded by Prime Minister Netanyahu for a last trip to the Temple Mount. And effectively, Netanyahu has forbidden lawmakers and others to ascend the mount. Netanyahu believes this will help diffuse tension in the area. And as Mr. Glick said, he is a team player, and he will agree with this. Editorial comment on my part for now. We will see, but needless to say, the Jewish temple has gained political support in the Knesset. If you're interested in the topic, check out jewishjournal.com, haaretz.com, HAARETZ.com. Keyword, Yehuda Glick. Knesset, and that's Yehuda, Yehuda, Glick, Glick. Knesset, Knesset. Also feel free to check out paulthepoke.com, keywords, trend update, temple, and there is one previous post on Mr. Glick when he was attempted to be assassinated about a year and a half ago. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.